You and Bill Maher close?
Yeah, that's another old friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's some crazy party stories?
You know what? Bill used to throw really great parties at his house. They were like, he's got like a, kind of an estate thing happening. He had a home in the hills and then bought the house next door.
Yeah, I heard about
when
that.
it came up, which was the old, it was the old Tom Green, what's her name's house first. She got a talk show now. What's the name? Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Remember when they used to go together?
Yeah.
It was their house first. Then it was Ben Affleck and J-Lo lived there for a while. Then when they busted up, the house came free. Ben was selling a house, and so Bill bought that house. So he got the house and the house next door. So it was a lot of property. So he would have these like day into night parties, and just you never know who was gonna show up. You know what I mean? You'd have some rappers there. You'd have some actresses. You'd have some Playboy playmates. You'd have Hugh Hefner over here. You have Larry Flint over here. You got the incredible these weed experts coming with all these strains, and these are like the 2000s. So it was just a great time, and we loved those parties. But he stopped throwing them after a while, and I we were always urging him, yo man, throw another party, man. He says, I'm not throwing any more parties. Like, parties cost me $60,000.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, I said, but come on. You worth 140. You worth 140 million, bro. Come on. You gotta let it go, B.
He's worth 140 million?
Look it up.
Bill Maher?
Look it up.
He is worth 140 million. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man.
Damn, I gotta catch up.
Yeah.
I feel broke as hell right now.
It was funny. It was funny. We went to dinner the other night, right? So we went to Craig's, right? And we're catching up, blah blah blah, and that. And then the check comes, and I'm like, Mr. 140.
Chip away that 140 million.
You know what I'm saying?
On this bill.
You know what I'm saying? I would say I'll probably buy dinner, because we used to go out drinking back in the days, but he don't really drink anymore. I end up buying dinner like, I don't know, 1 out of 10 times. 1 out of every 10 times. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a bunch of us, like if he invites a bunch of us, like some of our writer friends or whatever like that, and it's like 5, 6, 7 of us, then he gotta pay that. He gotta pay that shit.
There's a story about you getting high with Gary Payton.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, and I when I launched my Kid and Blaze stuff, it's one of those things I like to talk about. It's kind of weird, like over the years, like who I've gotten high with. You know what I mean? It's sometimes they're cool, sometimes it's kind of wacky. But with GP, who's another old friend, I was visiting Seattle. I was doing stuff for Feli at the time, and I was in town for a few days. And we went to the game, and me and GP hooked up, and he was like, yo, man, come to the crib. He took me all over the city. He was the king of Seattle. He was the man. And he took me around. And I know we stayed on a Monday, and we went to a club Monday night. This kind of white club or whatever, where he knew the owner and everything. So we're down in the manager's office, and we're chilling it, and Dave Grohl is there too, from Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nirvana.
And Nirvana, of course.
Right.
I didn't even think Foo Fighters had even blown yet, to be honest. I think it was still, like post-Nirvana, but pre-Foo Fighters kind of deal. But, he's still a big deal. I knew who he was. And, we ended up down there, and it kind of became a circles. And guys, just started passing the weed around, shit like that. And, so it was weird. It was just like, GP hit it. I got it from GP. I hit it. And I handed it to Dave Grohl. I'm thinking, it's pretty fucking cool, man. You know what I'm saying? On a rainy Monday night in Seattle. It's kind of cool, man. And, my affiliation with Bill kind of lent itself to that too. Like, there's no telling who you get high with. Maybe we used to get high with Alan Thicke. I used to get the joint from Alan Thicke, hit it, and pass it to Coolio. This is the kind of party we were going to. He was like,
oh yeah,
you can't fucking believe it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those stories were cool, and Gary's still a great friend to this day, man. And he's that shit was crazy, man. I mean, and also it was weird because I was just like, well, how can he? I was like, y'all can smoke? Like I thought they did. He's like, man. You know what I mean? Like when you the best player on your team, you know what I'm saying?
You do
They
what you
tell
want.
you when those tests is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, them rookies of them, you know what I'm saying? The end of the bench dudes got to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, no. I remember when I interviewed Jalen Rose, he said that by far, Gary Payton was the most aggressive trash talker he had ever been on the court with, and he'll fight you.
I understand why he had that level of toughness. But also, a lot of the things that he said would be usually things that you only heard in the alley or in street ball.
What was like the worst thing? What was the worst thing Gary Payton said to you in a game?
Well, the crazy thing is we got along. And so we were playing against them in Europe. I had just got to Indy. This was like 1996. I got traded there in the offseason. And just so happened we were on a European tour and played against Seattle 2 straight games. And all I know is this. This dude out there cussing at me like he ain't never seen me before in life. Like, I was just with him. Like, I was just with him, Vlad, like 10 hours ago, having drinks. This dude like, you mother... I'm like, okay.
Oh, no question. That's Oakland, man. That's Oaktown, bro.
Yes.
He didn't play.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't play. But once again, by the same token, if he's down with you, if you're friends with him, he's a friend to the end. He'll fight for you.
Oh,
you know what I mean? He's like that. Charles Oakley is like that. You know what I mean? These are people like, they don't like a lot of people.
Oh, no.
And when they like you, you got a friend for life. Like Oakley is like that.